All right, it's time for another episode of the Josh Cast. Boy, that sounded depressing already. I had Chinese food yesterday. It was delightful. And hitting me, but not as hard as I thought. Other thing I did though is that at night I had a salad and some fruit, a little bit of chicken. No carbs. I find the more I cut carbs out of my diet, the better I feel physically. Spiritually, it's horrible. It's just not right not to have these carbs. It's just not right. Not at all right. I mean, in all major religions, bread is a part of it. It's in Judaism. Passover. On this day, we remember how hard the Jews had it. They didn't have bread that could rise. And it's miserable. Yom Kippur might actually be better than Passover in that respect. Better to not eat at all than to eat bread that doesn't rise. Bread, wondrous thing, amazing thing. It's like cake. It is cake, but more acceptable. There we go. You're eating cake at 10 o'clock in the morning, just mounds and mounds of cake. That's not right. There will be inquests. Bread, yes. Toast in the morning with jam? Yes. Totally acceptable. How far away is toast with jam from cake? I don't think it's as far as people think it is. In terms of health. Depends on the bread, depends on the cake, I suppose. Bread is fantastic. They talk about the human who came up with the fire, or the human who, came up with the wheel. The human who came up with bread, who's that guy or gal? Who's the person who went, you know what? These twigs and berries, not doing it for me. But I figured out a way. If you take this plant matter and you screw around with it a little bit, you've got something that makes you feel full finally. The woman next to me is not going. She's in the turn lane. It was a green arrow and she didn't go. And no one was behind her. And I'm next to her, so I'm not going, but I'm watching her not. Oh, she's having troubles. Now she's on the wrong side of the road. That is not a good morning for her. Not a good morning for her in the least. Where was I? Bread! That's where I was. Sourdough's okay. In a pinch. I think I'm allergic to wheat, so the wheat bread always bothered me. I had oat bread when I was growing up. That was oat nut bread. That's what it was. Oat nut bread. It was some good-ass bread. I can still remember that bread. Sugary. That's why I liked it. Probably as bad for me as the sweets. But acceptable because it's bread. But now, of course, we know that unless I'm eating grass that I am literally just eating off of the ground, anything else is unhealthy. That's the rule. Pizza, of course, is what happens to bread in heaven. In heaven, all bread is pizza. That's my theory. You don't have a piece of toast in the morning, you have a piece of pizza in the morning, in heaven. And it's delicious pizza. There's a place near where I work called Pizza Revolution, or Pizza Rev. I imagine it's short for revolution. Could be short for Pizza Revoked, but I don't know why that would be the name of the place. Pizza Reviled. Yeah, we're going to call it Pizza Reviled. How about Pizza Rev? It's short for reviled. You know, no one else will know, but you'll know. How about that? Acceptable. That's what we shall do. That is acceptable to me. Pizza Rev, where they make your pizza. It's basically a Subway, but pizza. So you go down the line, you tell them what toppings to put on. They have gluten-free bread. They say, is it an allergy or a preference? What an interesting question. Allergy or preference? Why are they asking that question? Well, I would imagine if it's because it's an allergy, they have to do something extra to make sure that the gluten bread doesn't touch the gluten-free bread, or there has to be, maybe they cook it in a separate oven or something. But I like that they asked that question. No, it's a preference. That's fine. I can continue to poison my body. It's no worries. Who cuts gluten out because it's a preference? You know what? I can't stand wonderful tasting things. I just can't do it. I prefer to suffer. That is my preference. So yes, it is a preference. Over Panera Bread, they had a cookie. I said, is that gluten-free? And she said, it's not gluten-free, it's gluten-conscious. Gluten-conscious is what she said. Didn't know a cookie could be conscious. I didn't know a cookie was alive and present. When you bite into the cookie, it says, hey, I just want you to let you know I'm conscious of the fact that I have gluten, and you should be conscious of the fact that you're going to be sick in about 20 minutes. I don't think a cookie can be conscious. If a cookie can be conscious, I've committed genocide. Millions of Oreos have died at my hands. I think the people who make the cookie can be conscious. Conscious that they're making a cookie with gluten. The one cookie you should not eat is the gluten unconscious cookie, because I think that's a crime. Pretty sure. Excuse me, do you have a gluten-free cookie? You know what? If you're trying to be healthy, don't eat cookies. Let's just keep it simple. Maybe that's the rule. You know, you want to have your cake and eat it too? You can't. Gluten-free cake? Get out of here. Yeah, I think that's matzah. And maybe that's the thing that's guiding me more towards atheism right there, is that no matter what I do, the gluten-free, sugar-free desserts, it's not the same. People try. I appreciate that you're trying. I get it. It's a valiant effort. It's like the alchemists. Can we turn this lead into gold? Can we turn this gluten-free chocolate cake into something that doesn't have an aftertaste that slaps you in the face? No, I'm afraid you cannot. I'm afraid you cannot. But what did I really want to talk about today? Did I even get to what I wanted to talk about today? Other than this diatribe against gluten-free desserts? Did I get to what I wanted to talk about today? What do I want to discuss today? What is the point I'm trying to make today? Trying too hard. I'm really playing with this. It's something I'm noticing in life, on stage, that I want to get it right so badly that the desire to get it right so badly kind of gets in the way of getting it right. And I become nervous, stressed, and I'm trying to figure it out and push, and it stops flowing. I think in this stage and in life. And so I'm trying to identify those moments where I'm going, okay, I'm getting stressed now. And then just try to breathe and then just kind of work through it bit by bit by bit and not freak out so much. Now, when I say trying, notice I'm not using that word necessarily, succeeding. Sometimes I succeed, most of the times I don't. So my mom always said, "Oh, what a tangled web we weave when we set out to deceive." Which is very insulting to spiders. They're like, what web? Wait a minute. Were you saying we're deceptive? We're not deceptive. Are we? Notice this web. It's not tangled. I'm a spider and I know geometry. It's not tangled. And we're not deceiving anybody. The fly's an idiot. The fly's an idiot. What do you want from me? There's a spider, a couple of spiders in my apartment. I'm not doing anything to quell them. I mean, when I clean and I sweep, if I get them, I get them. But I'm letting them be. I feel like they've got a better idea of what they're doing than I do. Why should I get in the way? I wonder if the spider who lives in my apartment ever runs into a spider who lives in a mansion. And there's a similar degree of awkwardness around the economic disparity. Yeah, the apartment's only 150 square feet. You're a spider. You can go anywhere you want. Can I? I lack the confidence. You're a spider that lacks confidence, so you're only going to live in small apartments. Yeah, I figure if I live in a giant mansion with, a type A personality, they're going to kill me on sight. But if I live in a tiny apartment with a beta male, he's going to, have respect for me. I can manage him. There's actually a lot of logic to that now that I'm thinking about it. Hopefully the spiders don't figure out that I'm non-threatening. Guy next to me is driving a truck with an advertisement for holiday carolers. It didn't even occur to me that people sell themselves as holiday carolers. I didn't even know that was a thing. Which you do for Christmas. I don't think they're not carolers for Jewish religions. I mean, there's the cantor who sings in the synagogue, but not carolers. None of our holidays inspire groups of people to sing jolly songs. We wish you a Merry Hanukkah, we wish you a Merry Hanukkah, we wish you a Merry Hanukkah, and a Happy Pesach. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It'd have to be different. Hanukkah, feel the guilt. Hanukkah, celebrate quietly in the dark with a candle. Hanukkah. Even a Gregorian chant might be a little bit too upbeat for Hanukkah. Hanukkah. It used to be so wonderful, Hanukkah. It used to be... I used to look forward to Hanukkah. It's when I get the toys. That's when I'm going to get my toys. Hanukkah. It used to be, my friends, it used to be, but it is no more. I barely even notice Hanukkah. Usually, a Christian friend tells me, Happy Hanukkah, and I go, yeah, thank you. Thank you. I was just in the middle of observing that tradition. Thank you. Thank you very much for letting me, yes. Hanukkah, right. What are we celebrating? 8 nights. The candle lasted 8 nights. Happy Hanukkah. I don't think we should say happy for Jewish holidays. Don't say Happy Hanukkah. I think you go up to a Jewish person and you go, so Hanukkah, yeah, you're in it? Yeah. Yeah, you're in the middle of it? You're in the middle of the Hanukkah thing? Yeah. Well, I hope it works out for you. That's how you should do that. Thank you.